No, I don't agree.
Oh, I don't want that to be real.
You're a bad person to say that.
Guys, do you want to play a game? I'm asking people if they can tell the difference between the Onion or the real news. You think you can tell the difference between those headlines?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Would you mind reading this?
Yes, there is such a thing as too much democracy.
I would say that's real because that's a little dystopian and it feels like it couldn't actually be funny. Because if it were funny, it would be funny, but if it's real, it's more funny.
It seems like something that like The Guardian would write as like an attention grabber.
Real news, honestly.
That's not real.
There is such a thing as too much democracy.
Would you agree?
I don't agree, actually. I think we have too little democracy in that workers don't really count in this country, and we have no voice, actually, at the upcoming elections.
If you really start thinking about how much do ordinary people affect policies of the government, it is really the top 10% and honestly the top 1% that actually affects government decisions, because they're the one with all the money and they're the ones who actually fund political parties.
What do you think such a headline could even be about?
The things are like two-sided, like everyone has to be too balanced, maybe?
That was the Washington Post.
Well, that's sad.
We're dying younger. That could be really good news for our employers. I saw that this week, I feel like.
Seems dark, but I'm gonna say it's real.
That looks like BuzzFeed.
First, do you agree?
No, I don't agree.
I can see someone making this argument. I would guess it's real.
But seeing that you got me on the first one, I hope this isn't real, but something tells me it is.
Which side are you on? The employers or
I as a non-employer, as someone who is employed, I like to live and then make more money, so that works better in my favor.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you love the bosses? 9 or 10?
That's not a real question.
I work in PR.
Oh, okay. So you know how these things are constructed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I construct them sometimes.
Did you construct this one?
No, but it looks like BuzzFeed, honestly.
Yeah.
Real?
It's Bloomberg.
This is the mentality that people come up with when you're actually working in somewhere like Bloomberg for decades, and all you see about the economy is just the line going up and the line going down. And this is a perfect example of that.
This genocide isn't all that bad.
That makes sense also, because
See, I would think that like a real newspaper wouldn't be so obvious about it.
right, I'd be like maybe
I'm not
there's
surprised
an
that people
argument.
think that way.
Yeah, that's sad.
This genocide isn't all that bad. I'm gonna say The Onion. I just think that's a terrible headline.
Oh, I don't want that to be real, but I hope it's The Onion.
If you had to take a guess.
I feel like people are saying that, so it's probably real. Some crazy far right.
I don't agree. First and foremost, this is real.
I gotta say Onion because I can't imagine somebody saying that any
But you actually
genocide
can't. You
isn't
can, and
all-
that's a problem. That's
yeah,
the problem.
I mean, yeah. Well,
I would say that has to be The Onion because I'd be more sad if it was real. It's not like it's like if you really have to think about if it's a good or bad thing, then you are the bad person. Like I would say, like if you're like wavering, like I don't know, like maybe like it helps, like the economy. Like no, then you're a bad person to say that.
This is The Onion.
But the problem is there's probably someone out there who's like, oh, I agree with that.
That sentiment can be found elsewhere, just not so explicitly.
There was one article recently that they were talking about how killing of children is not always an illegal act. And they were talking about how sometimes in war, the enemy is using children as human shields. And so if you're shooting the enemy and those children get in the way, then, it's regrettable, but actually that's not an illegal act. As if, of course, Hamas is doing this en masse, pretending that this is how every child in Gaza has died.
A plan for Palestinian prosperity. Israel should build weapons factories in Gaza and the West Bank. That has to be The Onion. I hope it's The Onion.
This one's tricky.
I'm going to go with true.
That is real, I think. That's a real headline.
Oh, God. I feel like that's real.
I'm gonna say The Onion.
If someone stole your home, would you feel better about it if they started making bombs in it?
Personally, no.
that does sound stupid enough that someone would come up with
No,
it,
of course.
though. Yeah.
Let's build things local, right? Like I feel like that's the angle, but
Local, homegrown
weapons.
I wonder how that might help things by leveling a place, turning it into a glass parking lot, and then to apologize, you build more bombs there.
Well, it's called destroy and rebuild.
That is real.
That's real. Oh my goodness.
This one is true. This one is someone's actual suggestion.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be proud to have a weapons manufacturer live in your ex home?
Well, No, I would
Show
be
some gratitude.
Right, like, oh, someone's using the house that my grandparents built, like that. Yeah, but no, that would be sad, actually.
I don't know.
Federal Reserve calls for more poverty. Real.
I'm gonna say the Onion. I think that's the Onion.
Federal Reserve calls for more poverty.
We need more poverty to keep this thing running.
No one wants to say, in order for this to work, unemployment has to go up. But they all think that.
Oh yeah, the business press is fantastic for that reason.
I can go a lot of ways with this one.
Federal Reserve calls for more poverty. If someone made it up, that would be quite funny. I'm gonna say the Onion.
It could just as easily be Bloomberg.
Yeah.
And so you often get a lot more of the ideology coming through when you read publications like Bloomberg or the Financial Times. So a lot of the time, if you really want to understand what's going on, those are the sources to go to.
I'm actually gonna go with this one being true.
I mean, it easily could be. That is the Onion.
Okay. They just put it in plain terms. They didn't write around it.
Exactly.
They said, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be.
How else is trickle down going to work if there's no one at the bottom to be trickled?
I mean, again, this is one of those, probably someone thinks that it should happen, but, they wouldn't be this obvious about it, right?
Right, I feel like you could think that, but you shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
Like, people do think this, you should not say that.
No, but you're right. Who's going to catch the drops if not the people
Right,
at
if
the
not
very
the
bottom?
people who are being pissed on, right.